Good morning, students. Let's continue our revision. Today we are going to start the second chapter, atmosphere. What is atmosphere? An atmosphere is a huge blanket of air that surrounds our earth. This is our earth and it is surrounded by a huge blanket of air. It consists of air and this blanket is called as atmosphere. This is one of the most important domain of the earth. What we find that the lower part of the atmosphere is denser, whereas in comparison to the upper part. What we find that when the height increases, the temperature decreases. With the increase in height, the temperature goes down. What is the proportion? With the temperature decreases at 6.4 degree centigrade per kilometer. Each 1 kilometer, the temperature decreases about 6.4 degree centigrade, which is called as lapse rate. When the height increases, temperature decreases, and this is called as lapse rate. Another important thing about that, the air that is present in the atmosphere, it moves. We already know that air moves. So the horizontal movement of air is called as wind. Horizontal movement of air is called as wind, whereas its vertical movement is called as current. Keep it notice that horizontal movement of air is called wind, vertical movement of air is called as current. Now, what is the composition of different gases that are present in the atmosphere? It contains different gases as well as the dust particles. So, what is the proportion of or the combination of different gases and the dust particle in the atmosphere? Let's see with the help of diagram. This is the atmosphere and it contains about 78% of nitrogen, as our atmosphere is a composition of different gases and dust particles. So it contains 78% of nitrogen, 21% of oxygen, and only 1% of other gases. 1% other gases, which includes carbon dioxide, then dust particles, water vapor, argon, etc. are there. So remember it that nitrogen, the proportion of nitrogen in the atmosphere is 78% and oxygen present at 21% of oxygen is there in the atmosphere. Now, this is the composition of the atmosphere. Which gases are there in the atmosphere? What is the structure of the atmosphere? Let's see. On the basis of the structure, our atmosphere consists of 5 different layers. How many layers? 5 different layers. 5. It consists 5 layers. This is the structure. before we discuss about the composition, this is the structure. 5 layers are there, which first one is the troposphere. This is the lowest layer. Lowest means towards the earth surface. The lower layer, the lowest layer among the 5 layers, the lowest one is the troposphere. The height of this layer varies from poles, it is 8 kilometer, whereas from the equator it is 16 kilometer. Now this layer is called as the densest layer. Why? Because what is present in this atmosphere are very close to each other. Very less space is present there, or everything is very so close. What we find that all the weather related activities we will find is in this layer. Weather related phenomena are the fog is there, wind, mist, hail, storm, water vapor, rain, all the activities which are related with the weather. We are talking about the atmosphere. So whatever is present in the atmosphere we will find in this layer. Now there is a transition zone between the lowest layer and the second layer from the earth, which it is about 50 kilometer from the earth's surface, which is called as the stratosphere. So the height of stratosphere is from 16 kilometer to 50 kilometer, and this transitional zone between the stratosphere and troposphere is called as tropopause. This is stratosphere. To the lower level of this stratosphere we will find ozone layer. There is a layer of ozone gas. Therefore, it is often called as ozonosphere. This is the second layer, stratosphere, and because of the presence of ozone gas, it is also called as ozonosphere. Here we do not find any weather related phenomena. No weather related activities take place in this layer. Therefore, this is the best layer for the aeroplanes to fly. Next layer is the third one is mesosphere, whose height varies from 50 kilometer to 80 kilometer. What we find in this layer, that meteors burn here. The rock particles. What are meteors? The rock particles that are coming from the space. When they reach up to this layer, mesosphere, they burn here. Very few are there that goes down to the earth's surface. So all the meteors burns in this layer. So this layer is, especially the feature of this layer is meteors burn in this layer. Next one is 450 kilometer. The height varies from. The layer is the thermosphere. And this layer is also called as ionosphere. Why it is called as ionosphere? That in this layer the electrically charged ions are present. We will find ions in this layer, the electrically charged particles, and the space shuttles are there, which helps in the radio transmission. And the last one is the exosphere. The uppermost layer or the outer layer is called as the exosphere. What we find, the rarefied helium and hydrogen gases are present in this layer, or the satellites are there. So what we come to know about the structure of atmosphere, it consists of 5 layers. The lowest one is the troposphere, which is also the densest layer. The transition zone between the troposphere and stratosphere is called as tropopause. Then between the stratosphere and mesosphere is called as stratopause, and stratosphere is also called as ozonosphere because of the presence of ozone gas. Then mesosphere, here the meteors burn. Next layer is thermosphere. Here we find the electrically charged ions, and then it is also called as ionosphere, and the exosphere, the outer layer. Here the rarefied helium and hydrogen gases are present here. Now this is about the structure of atmosphere. Next class we will discuss about the greenhouse effect. Almost everything what I explained is given in the chapter and in the highlighted words. Prepare it very well. Have a good day. Thank you.